the beautiful, wonderful city of Los Angeles. This is the weekly tap in, and I am your host, Duane. Welcome to Drug Dealers to Businessmen podcast. I'm tapping in. What's good, family? What's good? Ooh, I got a good one for us today. Discovery is often the best form, but before we begin, if you haven't hit the subscription button, if this is your first time coming to one of our tap-ins, make sure you put your city right down below, right over there in the comment section. And if those who are listening, make sure you leave us a comment with your city representing if you're watching the replay. Those who are listening on the podcast, welcome from around the world. We certainly appreciate your support. We could not do this without you or our sponsors, hairlivery.com, Cheryl's Famous Fried Chicken.com, and medtoursla.com. Man, it is Super Bowl week in the city, and it is getting on fire. We're ready, man. Make sure you guys put the comments. I'm looking for comments, man. I'm looking for new subscribers, listeners. We're going to get to it, man. Man, guy, all right. What's going on, AD? Man, in the nav, I see you. Not using the H-Town this time, man. All right. Good to see you, my brother. Put your comments down there, man. We're going to get right to it. We don't like to waste time, man. That's one thing we don't have is a whole bunch of that. So we want to use that into the best. Just giving you an update on my progress, man. Things have been going well. I've been learning milkshakes and flipping burgers. I ain't flipping no burgers. They don't have me on the grill. But cashier, register, all that, dog. So what's going on, Sammy? ATL in the building? Man, I hear you, brother. Welcome back, Lynch. Appreciate that, Anthony. I don't know if it's Lynch or Anthony, man, but I appreciate you tapping in, my brother. We got to get to it. But yeah, so far I've been doing that, man. I was just explaining to my students. One of my students had told me, she was like, man, I work for CVS. And I just said, well, what happened this weekend? Oh, I just had to go work. I said, man, that's the problem. I said, we don't look at things in the right perspective, right? We rarely look at things. All right, Lynch, for what they are, right? That paid training I talked about. And I said, look what you have access to. I said, you're learning store management. You're learning how much toilet paper a CVS needs for the week. You're learning inventory management. What's going on, Tanisha? You're learning all these different things. So quit looking at that. I said, what happens is we end up getting in a conversation with somebody in the break room who looks at things completely different. And when we get in that conversation with them, they start to talk about things that are totally unimportant. Man, did you realize what the boss said? Man, don't nobody care what the boss said. Who cares what the boss said? All I know is I'm here on a mission. And once I get what I need to get, then I'm out of there. That's how we have to approach life. We got to be strategic with everything that we do. Everything. One of the benefits about me being a professor is that I get access to teach these classes over and over again. So I keep teaching retail. Over and over again. I keep teaching marketing over and over again. I keep teaching retail over and over again. Repetition. It's starting to stick in my head. I'm starting to understand terminology like that. When you have to teach something, you have to learn it, right? So in order for me to teach you how to be successful in life, I have to learn how to be successful first. I can't teach you something that I don't possess myself. That's hypocritical. So I remember at one time somebody was like, man, write a book. I'm like, man, I haven't finished. It's not done. I haven't done enough yet. What can I write a book about? The success story's not finished. So there'll be some chapters that I have to leave off, which are how you finish, right? So I'm not finished yet. So therefore I can't write a book. And a lot of times our ego will tell us, man, you got a hell of a story. Yeah, but it's not done yet, right? We might just be hitting a height. We might not have hit that other dip that we're going to hit and hit that real height that we're going to hit. So we might not be there yet. We might not be prepared, right? Talked about that last week when we were talking about chasing dreams and how they running from us. Why? Because we ain't ready. You ain't ready yet. Girls, they don't know how to choose us because we weren't ripe yet. And I tell people all the time in a relationship, give your people time to blossom and get ripe first before you start to judge them whether the fruit is good or not. You haven't given them a chance to get ripe yet. You don't know what they're going to be. You don't know what their potential is going to be. Pay attention to the basic things, right? Do they understand this? Are they caring? Do they know how to do X, Y, Z? Don't get caught up in the thinking they're going to be perfect now. That's where our disappointment comes in. That's why I tell a lot of people they give up too early. You give up on your relationships too early because you haven't given them time to become who they're going to be. And a lot of times you can influence that. You don't necessarily have direct, but you can have some influence on that. So take some time. A relationship is a blessing. Don't write people off so fast. So yeah, man, that's going good. Learning milkshakes, learning cash register, all that good stuff. But again, I'm putting my how do you say I'm putting all the talk behind me and actually putting in the work so that I can tell you the experience, right? And everything I don't necessarily agree with. Some, people manage different and different things, but I'm not there to change anything. I'm there to learn. So I don't mention anything. I come in there completely humble, quiet, do my job to the utmost ability, rarely take breaks, right? Because my work ethic is sick. And I see other people's work ethic and theirs may be different. That's okay, right? One of the things I've learned is I've learned more from bad managers than I've learned from good managers, which is crazy. So there's no wasted experience. And everybody, you got to get around certain people to know how to act. I don't need to act like that. Their self-awareness is low. They may not know how to office skills, soft skills, a lot of things that the homies need to work on. Soft skills. I see that there. Like a lot of people may be abrasive, don't know how to approach people. I asked one lady, I said, how do you spell Madeline? Her husband said, man, I'm so glad you asked that. She hates when people misspell her name. Right? Think about that, right? So we don't think about a lot of these things that we pick up while we're in these specific positions that we're taking for granted, homie. Go in there and learn that game. Learn what you're missing, right? We talked about that, 4 or 5 episodes ago, our foundation, holes in our foundation. Let's go back to that. Let's fill in those missing holes, right? What do we need? Customer service. I'm abrasive. I know I rub people the wrong way. Well, maybe you need to learn how to develop your soft skills, how to respond properly, right? With age and that maturity, that's where you get that, right? Speaking of which, our subject tonight, life is a track meet. It is. I had the beauty and opportunity, right? Sitting there this weekend searching for sports because there isn't any. There is, they had the Pro Bowl on and then they had Winter Olympics. But lo and behold, man, God will find you in the most mysterious ways to deliver messages that could never be put in a book format. So I'm sitting there watching, right? And they got track meters on. I'm like, oh, this is live. Finally get to see some live sports. They got the distance runners on. I'm like, man, I'm really not into distance runners. I'm not, not to hate on them, but all right, I'll watch it. There's nothing else to watch. I'm just chilling. Let me watch it. And it's in those times, right? In those times that we're sitting there not really expecting anything miraculous to happen is when the miracles get delivered, right? Stay tuned. So I'm sitting there watching, and they have a race on. These young ladies are race, and it was one of those long distance races. And I saw there was a lady in front. She came out. She was, muscular, running, had a healthy lead in front of all these ladies, right? Healthy lead. And there's probably 7 or 8 girls behind her. She's at least 50 feet in front of them, strong. She bouncing. So I go in the kitchen, do something else, like make something to eat or something, come back. I don't even see her anymore. She's no longer even in the race. And there's an Ethiopian or African American girl that's leading the race. And she's pacing. And she's rolling, right? And I'm sitting up there like, okay. Before, at the beginning of this race, there was probably 12 girls. At this stage, once that girl dropped out, there's probably 8 left. And they just keep falling out. I'm like, where do they keep falling out? And this is where the life lessons comes in, because you're looking at it and you're saying, man, they're pacing, but all these people are falling out. And the one who looked like they were going to be the strongest is not even in the damn race anymore. Out of there. Completely gone. Soon as you turn your head back, poof. So if you would have took what she did and bowed out that first lap, and you're going to see the like, this isn't even the peak of the story. You would have took what she did and bowed out, like, man, I'm not going to catch up to her. Because oftentimes we look at people in life and we say the same thing. Man, I can't catch up to this cat. Look at this dude. He got, man, dad and mom both balling. She lawyer, doctor, brothers this, all the advantages in the world, right? Just like I described with this chick. Running circles around you first couple of laps, right? But life, this is the key right here. Life is a long time, and it's more than one lap. But most of the time, we develop our life moves based on our first fucking lap. Our first lap. We're determining whether we're going to suck or not based on our first run around this damn track. And oftentimes, this is when we're getting warmed up. We're trying to pace ourselves. Man, this is a long deal, right? You don't know what kind of conversations you're going to have with yourself at that first lap. It might be, all right, that's cool. You got the first lap. Don't trip. I'm saving my gas. And to get back to the story, the black girl's running the race, right? There's about 7, 8 girls. There's a girl in the back, last, dead freaking last. And that bell rings, which means last lap. Ding, 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 ding. And you see her coming. She passes 1. She passes 2. Next thing you know, she's right behind the black girl. Literally. And they hit the last corner. She saved all of her energy and smoked her. Last lap. Period. Done deal. Boop, boop. The sister couldn't believe it. She thought she had it. Most of the audience watching thought she had it. Nobody paid attention to that girl in the last place, but the girl in the last place. And most of the time, when you're running your race in that situation, nobody's going to pay attention to you because you're not in the front. You don't look like a strong runner. You don't look like a front runner. You don't look like you're going to be in first place. A lot of people give up on you. A lot of people will tap out. A lot of people like, nah, man, you don't look. Damn, you 8th place. Goodness, man, 5 laps to go. I don't care if it's 1 lap to go. You got to believe in yourself the way that girl believed in herself. She was like, all right, cool. You got the first beginning, no problem. Last lap, I'm smoking your ass. And that's the attitude that I believe that we should take. Is we're not just looking at it from 1 lap. We're looking at it from an entire marathon. Right? And when I looked at the whole situation of the events and all that stuff, I said, there's another lesson in this track meet. Don't compete in something that you're not strong at. Right? You see certain people focusing on what they're good at. Long jump, javelin, you name it. But you don't see the javelin thrower saying, you know what, I'm going to go sprint too. I'm going to go do this and this and this too. Right? They're competing at the things they're strongest at. Granted, they could probably run. They could probably compete in all those different events. But where am I going to get the medal at? Where am I going to compete? Where am I going to shine the most at? Where do I feel like I can put my concentration? Now, there's some cats out there that can do triathlons. I consider myself a triathlete. Multiple hustles in the game. But for most people who don't want to diversify their hustle, which I don't agree with, I really believe you should diversify your hustle. You may need to find out where your strengths are. Compete where you're going to win. Compete where you're going to get the cheers. Compete where you know how to compete. And if you don't know how to compete in that particular area, you need to do your homework. One of the things also that you don't see, there was a life lesson with this track thing. Nobody sees the practice. Right? We don't see track practice on TV. We only see the race. Right? So most of the time in life, people only see your race. They don't see the work you're putting in. But it'll be clear on that day when that gun goes off, who was doing what and who wasn't. So in order to compete, you got to practice all the time. Man, I'm practicing all the time. Man, I work my ass off, dog. Constantly. I'm either doing school or businesses, or I'm up there learning their system at the burger place. Constant time. Constant learning. It's a perpetual thing. It will never end. You got to have an advantage. What is your competitive advantage? How do you feel like you can compete in this world? Because it's competitive out there. A lot of different events. Some people running sprints. Some people don't want to run marathons. Some people just cool with the flash. Let me just run 100 yards, man, and show you. That's the floss, right? That's when somebody stunts on you. Ah, whoa, pulled up in the what? Yeah, that's the sprint. Then you had them distance runners, right? Them cats who win the whole thing, been running, man. This dude, you like, man, I went to the store, back. This cat's still running. That's what we on. You could do the distance. You could pull the what is that? The relay race. You could do all that. I'm running marathons, homie. Period. Period. There's no other. I'm not competing in any other event. I'm not interested. I'll jump. I'll do that. I'll do the high jump in the marathon. I'll take my leaps, right? But that's about it. Other stuff I'm not interested in. I'm interested in that distance, going the distance, because it's going to take that much to compete. I'm watching cats, man. I just saw this cat, man, 5 years. Now he got a second restaurant. I'm inspired, homie. I'm watching all these young cats around here getting their money. Super Bowl. I might make a little bit, but I'm not tripping. I'm more interested in watching other people and how they're taking advantage of it and how they position themselves for success. Right? I watched it in the cannabis industry. People were set up before it popped. People took the leap in Inglewood before the stadium got there. The reward was the stadium, right? But they have to take the leap first. So where are we taking our leaps at, man? What we taking leaps in the ponds? Are we taking leaps into that ocean so we can see what we can hunt for and come up out of there with? What we doing? And we have to figure that out quickly, right? Because it's so often we can drift into somebody else's idea. Somebody else's idea for success. Let's try this. Nah, homie. I'm talking to God, man. God ain't steer me wrong this far. He got me in LA trying all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's a beauty, right? That's a luxury also, you know? I was talking to somebody about risk today. I said, what would you rather have? Would you ever rather have a franchise or build your own brand? Most of my students franchise. Why? It's less risky. We're trying not to take risk. I'm like, since when did we want to get away from risk? Why is risk a bad thing? I couldn't understand it. More risk versus you get more reward. The more you put up and gamble, the more you would have gambled on the Bengals, you'd be up right now. That's a risk. I don't know if they're gonna win. I don't know if I'm gonna win. But who else am I gonna gamble on? I'm gonna put my money on something that I don't know anything about, somebody else's idea. Why not put my money on my own idea? See if I could make it pop. You feel me? Why not? If I'm gambling and we're all taking risks, every day that we walk this earth, we're taking a risk. We risk staying in a job with no end. We risk working for somebody who's misguiding us. We risk investing in something like a school that doesn't give us the ROI that we need. Because all the time, the ROI isn't in a university. Sometimes you could just go out there and try it and hit. It's a crutch. It's a good thing to fall back on. And don't get me wrong. I'm not encouraging school because I teach there. It's a great situation. But at the same time, what's up, Anthony? What's up, Gabriel? Appreciate that. At the same time, you gotta bet on you. You got one life, man. Who better to determine whether that fade is gonna go right than you? I put my money in somebody else and, hey, homie, I'm gonna go get a homie $1,000 to see if he can double it up for me. I'm about to give myself $1,000 to see if I can double it up. Why would I give him? Same thing with investing. Like, oh, I'm invest. Nah, man, I'm investing me. I put my money in that or them. I'm investing learning what I need to learn. I'm not lazy with my hustles. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. I'm not looking, I don't want control. I don't want nobody investing in my shit either. I don't want you coming and trying to tell me how to run my business. Tabasco's private. I think Frank's Red Hot might own it now or some, one of them. But they don't have to tell you anything. Trader Joe's either. We ain't got to tell you anything. In and out, we're private. We ain't going public. Our business is our business. And that's how I am. I'm like, man, that's not. Now I understand. Like, oh, I'm getting to McDonald's. That sounds cool. But why not create your own or die trying? That's my belief. Now, I don't encourage everybody to follow whatever I follow, but I'm on some Jay Prince shit, homie. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm taking account of how God's blessed me throughout this lifetime and all the gifts that he's given me, and he has not disappointed me yet. Why would I stop asking for it? Why would I stop betting on myself? When me and God ain't lost a fade yet. We lost money in Vegas, but we ain't lost money on us yet. Not one bad investment, not one bad book, not one bad trip, not one bad any of that. When we invest in ourselves, when we get we start to console God and get that counsel, there's no better advisor that you can get. And all you got to do is pray. And every hustler, gangster, real ones, they tell you about God. Jay-Z, Diddy, Russell, Prince, you can go on and on. Everybody talk about God. The ones who really connected with that cat will tell you what time it is. Like, man, ain't no better plug. If you need to plug, like everybody got that plug. Like, it's always who's always some dude named Curtis. For whatever reason, the plug's always some cat named Kurt. I don't know why. But anyway, like he's like the Kurt of the neighborhood, right? Like always like got it and always got a good deal. So if you're looking for the plug, homie, why not go to God and ask for specifically what you want? And I'm telling you, once you do that, man, the universe just starts. I promise it gives you everything you want in a gift basket. It just starts falling out the sky. I'm looking for a red Tesla. Next thing you know, you just start seeing red Teslas every damn where. It's just all about your vision and what you focus on. And whatever you focus on, you'll get more of. So you start talking negative, you'll get more of that. You got to watch your language. One of the most important, and I've talked several episodes on this. Watch your mouth, homie. Only speak about what you want. You start speaking about other stuff, that stuff will start creeping in. Speak about what you want. What exactly do you want? We want a chicken franchise. I know this is what I want. Now, everybody else may differ, but I'll say what I want. You know what I mean? This is what I want to see. I want to see this and this and that. Want a nice brand, branded tables, branded music, the whole nine. Customer service up to par, a whole way of greeting you with a smile, changing the whole direction of fast food from what I see. That's my vision, right? So what's yours and what are you asking the universe for? So once I start asking this stuff, the stuff just starts popping in my life, opportunities. I start to see more restaurants. I start to see more of this. The other businesses are popping. So now we may get a brick and mortar for that as well, right? But all these different things are based on energy that I'm producing, energy that I'm in control of. And I think one of the things that we don't realize is how much power we actually possess, right? The Alchemist, when you think about that, Will Smith, I've talked to you guys about that book. He's one of the main ones. Watch his interview with Tavis Smiley. If you ever get a chance, do Will Smith, Tavis Smiley interview. It is fantastic. And he talks about that, right? He talks about reality, right? And how he said, what he say? When somebody says be realistic, he's like, dude, what the hell is realistic? And don't tell me what realistic is, because your version of realistic and my version of realistic are two completely different things. Realistic as you is because you've been to the pen and they got a statistic that says there's an 85% recidivism rate, that you believe that I'm going back to the pen. That's what your reality is. Well, shit, 85%, those are really high odds. Yeah, but I'm different. And me and God talked about it. So I don't care what your statistics say. We're about to defy every bit of odd that you could think of. Every mathematical equation. I don't care what it is. We're about to defy all that. And you're going to say, that's a miracle. And I'm going to agree with you. You're darn right. It's a miracle. God's still in the miracle business. Why would he deny me? I haven't done anything worth denying for, so why would he deny me? I don't care what your version of reality is, because that's one of the things we got to be careful with is other people's version of reality and how they pass that on to us. What's your version of reality? Well, you can't move to LA and build a business. Why? Because that's hard. That's hard for your ass. That's hard for you to do. You can't, man. And they may not even say it to you. It's just you can feel it. Energy doesn't have to have a physical form. You can still feel it. We're connected like that, homie. I can feel your hate through your non-participation. I can feel your hate through when you drop by. You don't have to say anything to me. I feel it. So I try not to give you that energy back. I try to show love. Cats try to ignore me because they want to justify their hate. I show love, they show me the shoulder to justify their hate. I get it, but I still show love. I'm liking, loving, commenting, supporting. I'm learning from other people who do the same thing to me. I feel that shit is contagious. When we show love and support, let's pass that on to other folks. That's contagious still, right? But so is hate and envy. Get around the water cooler, man. This job is trash, even though it's paying your bills and you prayed for this shit. Right? For real. Yeah, I'm still in right. You can't do that. Man, that's hard. Man, I don't know how to do that. Then it starts to come out. Man, I don't know how to do that. Man, I wanted to do that at some point, but I woo, 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 woo. Okay, well, let it be known, homie. You scared. Let it be known then. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But let it be known, your fears is coming through. You passing on your fears to me. What you talking about? I'm starting, man, I heard it's risky. Why? Because you listening to a bunch of people that told you restaurants fail within the first, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I'm listening to a book that tells me otherwise, right? So I'm gonna be biased in certain statistics. I'm only gonna listen to the ones that are favorable towards my success because I need to psych myself out. Because there's so much in the world that's trying to psych me in to their bullshit that I have to psych myself out of it in order to believe that I'm going to be successful, irrespective of who's been around me, irrespective of my family's track record, right? Because a lot of times we look for the track record. Damn, who's done it already? Anybody in my family? I'm the first. That makes it even more scary. Because if you fail, then you're going to be the first to fail at it. That makes it even more scary. So you really like, nah, I'm really not going to do it. Because other families, like, man, my dad was an entrepreneur. His dad was sold lemonade or whatever, cigarettes. His dad had a candy shop. And he's like, okay, well, I got enough confidence that it's appropriate for me to do that as well. Right? Then I should actually be the next in line. But if you don't have a track record, man, I came from alcoholics, drug addicts. I'm not saying I came from that, but I'm just saying, what do you do then? You should be proud to be the first. You're now the trailblazer. You're no longer you're supposed to do this and fall in line guy. You're the trailblazer now. Now you leave the crumbs. My daughter, she and my son love our shirts. Can't wait. The chicken shirt, let me see. The chicken shirt, they can't wait to wear. They got them and they're wearing them proudly. And we're taking pictures of all this. Why? Already see the future. My dad, they had us around fires when we was 2 and 3. So by the time you're 20-some years old, we should have one in Nashville and in Florida. Right? Because we had you around this stuff. And that's the key. You got to see it before everybody else sees it. I said it earlier. I did a little video. I said, man, you got to have the key to success is believing in yourself longer than everybody else does. That's it. Because people are going to bow out. They're going to tell you to go. I remember my brother, man. I don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Man. This is when I was out of college and I couldn't get a job. They kept denying me. I'm like, You gonna not believe in it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. You need people around you to speak life into you. Of course you're gonna get it. I don't care if they believe it. Fake it until you make it. Shit. The universe don't know the difference of whether you lying or not. Man, I'm the best CEO, and you could not. Man, I'm struggling. I got imposter syndrome really bad. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Psych yourself out. Try the shit. You've already talked yourself out of a bunch of stuff. Why not talk yourself into some stuff? Why not? Man, I talked myself out of even trying. How many times we talked ourselves out of talking to girls? Man, I ain't even gonna try. Next thing you know, she got a herb, some goofball. Like, man, he tried though. He tried. And a lot of times we talk ourselves out of stuff before we even give it a chance. For what? Try it. Man, I want to start a car wash. Shit, try it. Why not? Start with what you have. What you got, your driveway? You don't have your driveway? You got somebody else's driveway? Okay, you got a bucket? Okay, now we got social media. We got Craigslist. We got all this other stuff. Get started. What you need? Water? Quit finding excuses, man, and find ways, dog. Excuses are always convenient. There's boatloads of excuses. They're everywhere. They're AM, PM. They're almost like the fidget spinners. They're every damn where. Excuses. You can get excuses about a boatload. You can get a double up, dozen. Excuses are in full abundance. They're everywhere, right? They're on the stands after the Laker game. They rush. They're everywhere you can think of, like the hot dogs in LA. They're everywhere. But let me tell you what isn't everywhere. Tenacity. Believing in yourself. Ounces of faith. Zips of faith. Yo. Hard to get a zip of faith. They're expensive. Right? Half a zips of belief. Quarter pieces of determination. Right? 8 balls of I cans. There's a drought on that shit. You feel me? But there's a ton of excuses around. So you got to be careful which ones are easy to grab, right? Or what's our excuse for the gym? It's too far. I don't have my workout clothes. I don't have no music. Start putting it together tonight. You going tomorrow? Start putting it together tonight. Charge your shit. Go put it on the charger. Find your earphones. Go find your gloves. Look for a workout on YouTube tonight, not tomorrow morning. Because tomorrow morning, the enemy going to be at your door. He going to be standing there waiting on your ass. Like, what do you think you going, homie? Oh, you thought you was going to the gym? Man, please. I'm about to have a bill collector call. Your battery, I'm about to mess with that. I'm about to do a bunch of stuff. So you gotta have all your stuff together beforehand. You gotta have your arsenal already packed and ready before you encounter the enemy. Especially when it's at nighttime when there's no gunfire, right? This is when you do your planning. Because tomorrow morning, you best believe that enemy gonna be sitting there with sniper rifles, smoke, you name it, homie. You feel me? Ready to gun you down. So you got to be all right. Have a plan, because if you just walk out there randomly, man, your foundation isn't planted enough. It's gonna smack you. You feel me? It's gonna smack you and pull. What happens first thing in the morning? We usually get knocked off guard by something we weren't anticipating because we didn't have any intentional plans. When you have intentional plans, you start to learn to get your neo on. You start to dodge and maneuver because you have an objective, right? It's usually old people usually pass when they don't have a purpose anymore. So when you have a purpose and a direction, it's a complete difference. It catches the enemy off guard because now he's got to figure out what you're doing. When you talk about fighting someone, you wait on them, you giving them time to think. You got to take off. Go with your plan. 3-piece with a biscuit, I'm picking you up and dumping you on your neck. Already have a plan in motion. What you're gonna do to this person. And if you need to react, so be it. But I'm intentional with my shit. I'm already on fire. I'm ahead of that. I'm proactive. And we have to do that with our whatever goals we're trying to accomplish. I always use the gym as an example. Be proactive. Meet the enemy, catch him. Same thing with fighting, right? You get somebody time to walk around and warm up outside. Oh, catch them soon as they coming out their door. What's happening, homie? Or element of surprise. Same thing with the enemy. You got to catch him and catch his ass soon as he coming out the door when he didn't even expect you. And this is where the preparation comes in. I told my mom that the other day when she was, oh man, sit ups, da 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 da. I said, nah, catch the enemy slipping. He over there lamping. He like, man, yeah, he's sitting there talking to other enemies. Yeah, man, she over there chilling. She ain't gonna do that shit. She just kicking it by her. Yeah, whoopty wham. And he over there cooler talking. So you got to pop up on his ass. Hold up, man, homie. Let me get on you. Oof. Slide up on you. What's standing, homie? Oh, you're up? Yeah, I'm up. You already on your way? Already on my way, homie. What's happening? Oh, where you going? Now he's got to plan his strategy. Now he's got to figure out how to chase you. When you get intentional with God, the enemy has no idea what you're going to do. Only thing the enemy has is what you had in the past. So he's just saying, oh, man, he ain't even going to get up today. He just going to sit right, man, watch. He going to turn on the TV. He going to whoop the wham. You get up and already be downstairs having your shoes on. Man, I'm out this door. Enemy don't know what hit him. Damn, he on it? Man, him and God already had a plan. Weezy's out of here. He's gone. Right? But when you sit there and fester and give people time to plot and plan on you, that's why I tell people all the time, don't sit, man, don't be sitting around. Tell my son that, man, don't be giving these cats time to do the math on you. Stay moving, homie. Don't get an enemy time to do the math on you, to try to figure out your skis, how you move, what time you move, what you move to, what motivates you, what disappoints you. All he has is historical data. That's it. He doesn't have any up-to-date data at all. He has historical data, what you've done in the past. He has no idea what you're getting ready to do. So that's where you plan it out with God. Get intentional what you're going to do. I'm looking for a store. All right, I'm going to map it out tomorrow. Get up on it. He think you're going to sit in the bed and talk shit. Talk to your homeboy. Text somebody. Tell him what you're going to do. Go do it. Go get in traffic and find out. Even if you fall on your face and it sucks. Man, I went and looked and I didn't find any stores. Well, you found out that there wasn't any store. Maybe I need to go to the next. Okay, maybe you do. But get started. The enemy going to try to discourage you the entire time. He does not want you to move. Be exactly who you've been, exactly where you've been, exactly how you've been. And I can control you because I already know how you operate. I know what makes you weak. I know what you don't like. I know what pisses you off. I know what rattles your cage. I don't know what your future looks like, though. I have no idea, man. That's between you and God. Why don't y'all tell me? Man, even if we told your crusty ass, you wouldn't understand. And that's how you got to deal with the enemy. He is not your friend at all. Don't think he is. Don't think he ever will be. And he goes and moves around to other people, so don't take a lot of stuff that they do personal because it has nothing to do with them, man. This is a choice between you and that you make between you and evil. That's it. And I always break that down in those terms because if we get into the materialistic thing, that's not what's important. What's important is how you decide how you move forward, what you believe in yourself, how you accomplish those goals, because you are that miracle that God is trying to show everybody. I can make a success out of everybody who you gave up on. And that's what he was trying to prove with that track meet. Let me show you guys how not to give up on somebody. Let me show you guys how not to give up on yourself. Let me show you guys how you could think somebody's leading the pack and they fall to the back and not even in the race anymore. And I remember that as a child. I grew up in San Diego, man, where it was young ballers. Everybody thought I was a young cat getting money. Man, when I was in San Diego, everybody was 14, sprees, mope, all the homies. Like it was like all these young cats have money. But I look now and I go back, most of them burnt out. Ain't the same. So everybody gets their turn. That's what I tell people. I'm like, man, your bag is there. Don't trip. Don't rush your bag either. You don't want to prematurely go through your shit. You don't want to prematurely go through your blessing, right? You don't want to get your blessing and you're not prepared. I remember I used to want my Oprah moment. Like, man, if I had an Oprah moment 4 years ago, man, they'd be still talking smack about my website. So wait to be called up by kings, right? Ain't that what the book says? Wait to be called up. They'll call you up when your time is ready. You ain't even got to stress and look for it and wonder where it's coming from. They'll call you up. You need to be ready though. That's the key. You need to be ready. So all the preparation and things that you're going through now, all the classes that you need to take that are being suggested to you, right? Because God won't beat you over the head with something. He will come with a suggestion. And hopefully you pick it up because he wants some effort out of you as well. This isn't a one-sided deal, right? A lot of people think it's one, I'll just burn them. No. He wants you to walk across the room and shake his hands. Well, he's going to do the heavy lifting. Don't get it twisted. The heavy lifting behind the scenes, the magical shit that you like, how the hell, how did that happen? He got that. What he needs you to do is go find some faith. Bring that to the party. Bring some belief to the party. Bring some effort to the party. Bring some curiosity to the party. That's what he needs, right? All the other magical, massive, I got to move mountains and lives and reassess and move them. That's what he does. So I'm trying to encourage my family, my drug dealers to businessmen family. Let's push. Let's find events that we thrive at. I picked the marathon because I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. I'm running this race for all of us. The more I learn, the more we learn. Period. And right now, I'm showing you guys, more importantly, how to be consistent. Every Monday, we got 100 of these. 100 of them. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you think about how much time that takes, right? And the consistency with that. And I'm showing you guys over and over again, stick with something. Give it time, right? Nipsey Hussle said the only difference between him and some of his peers is that he didn't quit. That was it. That was it. I didn't quit. And when you look at that marathon or them laps that them ladies were running at the beginning of this, like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, half of them could have won too. But guess what? They quit too early. They quit way too early. They didn't see the race through. They didn't see who was going to fall out. Because one of the ones that fell out, they might have been like, man, there's no way I can beat this girl. Right? And when you saw the beginning of the race, there's no way I can beat her. Look how strong she is. She's coming out. She looks like she's a professional runner. Yeah. Don't give up on yourself either, because you're a hell of a runner too. And that's the thing. We always look at everybody else's blessings and gifts. I was watching Encanto, right? My daughter likes Encanto. Anybody watching Encanto? Really good movie. But one of the things that what it showed was this family, not to ruin it for anybody, but all this family has all these gifts. And one of the daughters doesn't have one of the magical gifts. And one of the things that I took away from it was that gifts put a lot of pressure on you, right? That you need to, when you have a specific gift, say for instance, you're good at basketball, you feel like you need to be successful at that, right? And it puts a lot of pressure on you. And one of the things that I saw with her is that her gift was making everybody realize their gifts. And I think that that's my gift in life, is that I can make you realize your gifts. So that's my goal. And every time we show up, every time I come to this, is to make you realize that you can do it too. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. If it hasn't been done, doesn't mean it can't be. So let's do some impossible shit in this year. Let's do some miraculous things. Let's work with our creator, and let's create the best life possible that we can create. That will conclude our weekly tap in for this week. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Make sure you guys hit the subscription button. If you haven't left us a review on our podcast, please do so. iTunes, Stitcher, we're on anywhere you get podcasts. Make sure you leave us a review. It really helps in our rankings, so that people can find us just like you. And we appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Tapping out.